to my heart, mind, whatever you want to call it. Um, I recently dealt with somebody that I believe is very narcissistic, if not just borderline, which there's kind of a little bit of a crossover between the two. So I want to talk about some behaviors, and not only the behaviors, but one thing about me over the years on my channel that everybody probably who knows me knows that I do this is if I'm going to talk about a topic that's troubling, I'm also going to give you the antidote for how to handle it if you're dealing with it in somebody. So we're going to talk first about, I'm going to do it one at a time. I'm going to talk about the first trait, and then I'm going to say, and this is what you can do if you have this issue or your friend has this issue. Now, disclaimer, people with personality disorders, there is not a one size fit all that works with them. Some of them can be helped, some of them cannot be helped. The whole key behind why I believe people have personality disorders is pride. That's what I believe. It's either pride in a false self, pride in controlling other people. It's also a brain thing. They have found out, and I'll see if I can find it and post it on here eventually in the community page. They have found out that somebody with narcissistic personality disorder, their brain is actually different than someone that does not have it. I did not know this. I just found this out today. Scientifically, they have looked at the brain, and there are different parts of it that are activated in somebody with narcissistic personality disorder versus someone without it. I'll talk more about that, or I'll post what I'm talking about if I can in just a little bit. So, let's talk about this. Especially with somebody with borderline personality disorder, there is a deep seated fear of abandonment. This means that they are terrified of you leaving them. I don't mean, oh, don't break up with me. I don't think I could live without you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you are my very substance. You are the essence of who I am. If you leave, if you end this relationship, if you go out that door, I will cease to exist. Now, I'm not saying they say this to you because obviously most people wouldn't say that because they'd probably put them in some place where they put people like that. But the point is, it is a desperate clawing at the person. You can't leave. Not don't leave. You can't leave because if you leave, who am I? I cease to exist. I am not anybody without you. This is why songs like I Can't Live If Living Is Without You, an old song from, I don't know, the 70s, 80s, whatever, is a dangerous song because people believe the lyrics in these songs. You can live because living sometimes is without a person. People die, people leave, people find new people. You can live without them. I promise you, you can. And people writing goofy songs like that have just produced this message that is so full of fallacy. That is why people cling. Hi, Mumtaz, sorry. That's why people feel so desperate because they hear these love songs and they're like, oh, but he's my one and only, or she's the light in my life and I can't live without her. Baloney. Yes, you can. You don't need another human being to complete you. And if you do, then you have the wrong allegiance. There's really only one you should have allegiance to, and that's him up there. But that's not what this live stream is specifically about. And of course, that's my viewpoint. There should be no human creature that you put on that high of a pedestal. Period. Just shouldn't do it. It's not healthy. It's not safe. It's not healthy. Not emotionally safe is what I mean. I'm gonna set this down so I don't have to keep jiggling you. Sorry about that. Okay, so how do you handle fear of abandonment? If you have fear of abandonment, how do you handle it? You learn boundaries. You learn to have boundaries. You learn to respect other people's boundaries. Welcome, Nikinainu. Welcome. A narcissist, not only do they not have boundaries, other than their rules that change from moment to moment, they also don't respect your boundaries, and they think they're stupid. They think they're silly. With one narcissist in my life, I told her right off the bat, so that I don't get hurt in this relationship, I would like to talk with you about boundaries. I'd like to know, when is it okay to call you? Because I know, your husband might get upset, your kids need your time. And her response was, oh, I don't do that. I don't have boundaries. I've never had boundaries with any of my friends, and I'm not about to start. That should be a red flag right there. It should have been a red flag for me, but I didn't know then what I know now about narcissism and borderline and personality disorders. And by the way, I'm talking about untreated, before anybody jumps down my throat and says, I've had BPD and you're throwing shade at the BPD people, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not. I'm saying people that are not getting the help for it and are not trying to better themselves, not just anybody with a personality disorder. This is specific people. Okay, so that's the antidote to fear of abandonment is learn boundaries. Learn to respect people's boundaries. Learn not to engulf people and suck them dry like a leech. Learn that people, even though they like you and they are your friends, you are not the be all and end all in their world. They have other friends, and they're okay having those friends. You don't get to choose their friends. You don't get to triangulate them and try to ruin their friendships or isolate them. That is not healthy. That's not a good thing. Next. Okay. Lacking empathy is a big one with narcissists. The first thing you need to realize, if you're dealing with a true narcissist, they lack empathy and they don't care about you. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but it really is the truth. You might say, yeah, but we planned this and that, and they said they'd never go away, and they said they'd buy me this, and they'd promote me, and they'd make me famous, and blah, blah, blah. They don't care about any of that stuff. They're not in a relationship with you, if you call it that, to help you feel good about yourself, to encourage you on your, journey, to help you feel empowered in the attempts of doing things. They just flat out do not care. They don't care. They care how you make them look and feel. But they don't care about you as a person. They could care less. And they especially don't care. Hi, Danny. They especially don't care if they hurt you and that you are crying in front of them, or sad or disappointed or feel cheated or hurt or wounded. They don't care about any of that. Because they'll just say you deserved it, or you brought it on yourself, or you're exaggerating. Yeah, they don't care. Okay. So lack of empathy. If you have a lack of empathy, how do you handle that? You have to get your eyes off yourself, people. Off yourself. Off your stuff. Off what you want. Off what makes you feel comfortable and happy and fulfilled and whatever. And realize that there is a world out there that does not involve you. And it involves other people's desires and dreams and hopes. And maybe take some interest in someone else's stuff. That's how you deal with a lack of empathy in yourself. You get outside of yourself. You look outside of who you are and what you want and what you need. And you, me, I. In fact, that's a good way to tell if somebody's a narcissist a lot of times. Count how many times they say I, me, I'm, I was, I am, I have, I did. They're very self-focused. Very self-focused. And you will literally hear them say those words. I, me, whatever. Okay. Next thing, I need to take care of a cat who's going to drive me crazy if I don't let him out the door. So, hold on. Come on, let's go. Let's go, buddy. Come on. Go. Go. Or do you just want love? Just want love? I'm just petting you, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just petting you. It's alright. You're okay. You're okay. It's alright. Yeah, it's okay. This is the kitty that I'm petting right here. This is Lily. Hi, Lee. I don't know what you want, buddy. I don't know what you're yowling about. But I'm trying to do a live stream here, and you're being very noisy and disruptive. Those cats do that. Alright, thank you for your patience. Bye, Bo. My other kitty ran out. Okay, and this is what I'm looking at, by the way. This is what I'm telling you about my poster I made. Okay, the next thing is, and I will post it on the community page when I'm done talking about it, okay? I promise. That way you can go back and look at it. Um, Toxic people. Let's talk about toxic people. People that just are not good for you. They don't want your best interest. They don't have your best interest in mind. Um, People that when you're around them, you feel drained. You feel upset, you feel angry, you feel like you constantly have to wonder, how do I handle this? What do I say? What do I do? That's toxic people. People that do not better your life, but instead pull from your life and subtract from it. They withdraw, make withdrawals, but no deposits, basically. So, if you are a toxic person, or you're with a toxic person, rather, be okay if they leave you, please. They're not doing you any favor staying with you. If you are miserable with somebody, let them go. And if it's safe to do so, you go from them. Don't keep them in your life. I read something the other day um, about people that stay because of the children, and it said, don't stay because of the children, leave because of the children. Exactly. Because the longer you stay in a toxic situation with a toxic person, your children are learning those behaviors. And they're also learning to watch how you interact with that person, and they're going to interact that way in their own lives. Chances are, if you're with a narcissist or a toxic person, you don't know how to handle those situations because they're not handleable. So what the child is seeing is you struggling constantly, yet staying in the mistreatment. You don't want to give your child that message. Okay. So yes, if somebody's toxic, let them leave, let them go. Stop trying to claw for them to stay with you. Not good. Okay, idealizing and then devaluing people. This is what narcissists do. That means they put you on a pedestal. Oh my gosh, you're the person I wanted to find all my life. Where were you all my life? You are just perfect. I never met anybody like you. You're my best friend ever. You know, that kind of thing. And then before you know it, shortly down the line, I say usually 3 to 6 to 9 months down the line, once the narcissist has to pull their mask off, all of a sudden they're saying things like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I hooked up with you. You're like such a loser. My life was so much better before you. Till you came along, I was happy. Now I'm miserable. Or you're embarrassing me. I don't even know why you're with me. And they'll say stuff like, well, if you're so miserable with me, why do you stay? You must be a really stupid person to stay with someone like me if you think I got all these problems. That doesn't mean they don't have the problems. That means you're fed up with the problems. I don't know why I always look like I have this indentation in my face. That's so weird. It only shows up on camera, too. It's not really there. Maybe a little dimple or something. Crazy. Weird how you look on camera sometimes, you know. Okay, so the idealizing and devaluing people, how do you handle that? You have to look at the cost and benefit scale. What is it costing you to stay in a relationship with this person? Is it costing your health? Is it costing your sanity? Is it costing your self-worth? Is it benefiting you in any way? Now, I'm going to venture to say that a relationship with a narcissist, I guess, could have benefits if they got lots of money and they're whining and dining you and buying you nice things and taking you out to eat and they're taking you nice places and hobnobbing with the bigwigs, that kind of thing. I guess that might be seen as a benefit. But really, what's it benefiting you? How is it making you feel good about yourself? How is it helping you realize your dreams? It's not, because they're all about their stuff. They don't care about your stuff. So you need to look at that and say, hey, is this costing me or is it benefiting me? And if it's costing you, then yeah, leave, get out, be safe about it, but do it. Okay. They will push your emotional buttons. They're very good at that. Better out of relating. I'm not sure what that means. I think that means you're better off not relating to them. Sometimes I write stuff and I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. Oh well. Um, Borderlines and narcissists take longer to, as they say, return to baseline. It takes them a long time to finally get back to what you would consider normal at times, especially if they're giving you the silent treatment. They can prolong that ad nauseum, y'all. Okay, identity disturbance. With my narcissist, this person could change identities like abruptly. They could go from teenager to mourning elderly person to Southern Belle to little girl, all different personalities. And it's very common in narcissism for people to be able to do that very fluidly and very abruptly. So, what is the flip of that? Realizing that you are multifaceted, but you are who God says you are, not all these beings that you think you have to be to survive. And again, this is for narcissists that are more self-aware, that really want help. I hope you are watching my video right now and you get something out of this, and maybe reach out to me and ask me some questions. I might be able to help. I don't know. I don't make guarantees. Maybe I can point you in the direction for some therapy if you need it. Always challenge a narcissist's beliefs with objectivity. That's how you balance it. When you're with a narcissist or a borderline or people with personality disorders, you're going to find yourself questioning who you even are half the time and what you believe, what you stand for, because they tend to form those things for you. They don't let you think for yourself. Thank you, Nick and I know. Nick and I knew. You want to challenge that with objectivity. The biggest thing when you're in an abusive situation with somebody is you lose your objectivity. You don't see things as they really are. You tend to make excuses for the person that's mistreating you. Like, oh, they had a bad day. They don't always hurt me like this. Well, they're doing better for a little bit longer, but they always go back into what they were doing before. Objectively look at it. Step out of the situation. If you have to, take a few days. Step out of the situation. Go to a hotel if you can, or hang out with a friend or whatever and say, look, I just need a few hours to do some soul searching. And then sit down and write down all of the situations you've had where you've questioned, is this really happening? Oh my gosh, did they really say that? Did they really do that? Are they really doing this to me? And get objective about it. And tell yourself, okay, yeah, they really did this. This is really happening. This is going on. And of course, you can ask me questions. Of course, Nick and Nay knew. Sure. So get objective. Because I know when I was with the narcissists in my life, that was the first thing that went, was my ability to be objective. And if people question me, like, oh, don't you think they're being a little controlling? My reaction was, oh, no, I mean, you know, they're a leader, so of course they're going to seem like they're trying to take charge. No, that was not what was going on at all. They were trying to own me. They were trying to engulf me. They were trying to turn me into a mirror image mini me of themselves, and becoming very angry when I wasn't them. And I was never going to be them because I'm me, I'm not them. So I had to get to the point where I could really look at things objectively outside of the situation. Another thing that they do is they're very impulsive. And it takes different forms. It may be impulsive spending. It may be impulsive TV watching, movie watching. In one case, the lady was an impulsive horror fascination person. And true crime and psychopaths, sociopaths, all that stuff. Was fascinated with that macabre type stuff. To the point that they used a lot of those tactics with me. I'm not saying I was, done that way. But the mindset, the manipulations, the control, the sneakiness, the twisting of words, all of that comes from studying the mind of those types of people and learning how they think. This person was very impulsive in the way that they acted. Whatever they wanted, all they had to do was snap their fingers and everybody around them would kowtow. So the opposite of impulsivity is self-control. That's something, if you are a Bible following person, you know that's also one of the fruit of the Spirit is self-control. Self-governing is another one. Watching what you do, watching how you treat other people, how you behave around people. That's important because you can really hurt people by your actions and your thoughts and your words. And if you're not a narcissist or a borderline or people with severe untreated disorders, then you know words are powerful and you can hurt people, but you can help them with your words too. So learn which is which. Look at the other person as higher than yourself and don't give away your soul for anybody. Don't do it. Okay, you might find yourself becoming what the other person wants rather than realizing yourself and your own self-worth. How do you combat this? You have boundaries, like I told you originally. Self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up. So many people have come to me when I was life coaching and said, "Oh, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. I should have known." No, you should not have known. Narcissists are con artists. They are very good at tricking people, manipulating people, deceiving people, and looking like the creme de la creme of a human being. And everybody does not believe you. They think that you're exaggerating. They think that you're mistaken. They think that you're embellishing. But really what's going on is what's going on. And you know that. Okay, let me see what Nika Nainu says. My friend is very upset about her mother. What she had done with my friend, her mother was showing favoritism with her brother. That my friend was a kid, a teenager. Okay, narcissists have their favorites. They call them the golden child, and that's very common in a narcissistic family, that one child can do no wrong, and they are the little prince or the little princess or the queen or the king or whatever. Unfortunately, I'm guessing your friend is probably underage and cannot live on their own, so they're kind of stuck in the situation. And that's a hard one for me to advise on because my advice is always get out if you can. The best thing they can do is tell a safe adult what's happening and try to navigate it with them. That's the thing that they need to do with that. So, but that is very hard when you are in a family where one is mistreated as the scapegoat and one is the star child or the golden child. Yeah, that's rough. That's a hard situation. Nick and Nainu. I'll just call you Nick. It's a hard situation, Nick. So I would advise you to tell her to talk to a safe adult about what's going on. And get some guidance there. Maybe if she can get into therapy, which if she's with a narcissistic mother, that probably won't happen because narcissists have pride and they don't let their kids go to a therapist because the therapist will see through the narcissist. And then that child will start standing up for themselves, and the narcissist can't have that because they're trying to mold a mini-me and they don't want you to be anything but what they want you to be. Okay, so another way to combat becoming what the other person wants is make small changes in yourself that you are comfortable with. Just decide what it is you want out of life. And I probably should offer a disclaimer. This more or less applies to adults that can make their own decisions, support themselves. When you're a child and you're in a narcissistic home, there isn't a whole lot you can do other than weather the storms, pick your battles, realize it's the parent with the issue and not you. It's hard. It's a hard thing. That's why these channels really aren't for children because, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of kids that are being done wrong right now, even as we speak. I've seen a few at grocery stores right now that were not, recently, that were not being treated right. There's not a lot of advice I can give for a child because you're kind of stuck with your parent. There's not lots that can be done. The authorities these days are not really taking children out of homes, especially based on what they would call hearsay. The child saying, well, dad's mean to me. Then you have to do a whole investigation, and yeah. So this is more or less advice it's mostly advice for adults, to be honest with you. So, And teenagers, no exception. That's hard too because the hormones kicking in and they want to be loved and appreciated and accepted by their parents. So they're willing to do just about anything. Like I said, my best advice for you is to tell them to seek out a safe adult they can talk to and maybe get into counseling. That's the best I can offer you on that one. Okay, the other thing about becoming what somebody else wants of you, do some healthy self reflection. Find out if you're doing things that the narcissist wants you to do. Um, oh, I got you, Nick and Nanu. I'm sorry to hear that. That's very unfortunate for sure. That's really sad. I'll pray for that person. That's hard and it leaves long lasting scars, unfortunately. So yeah, reflecting on exactly what's going on. Again, it's that objectivity that you're stepping out and looking back and saying, yeah, I don't think this is healthy for me. And getting out if you can, or kicking them out if you can. Okay, the chronic emptiness you feel after relationships with them, or if you're in one. Set yourself some small goals, whatever you're able to. I know the narcissist really impedes people, coming into themselves and realizing their own dreams. But if you can, find some small goals you can set. It doesn't matter what they are. I mean, within reason, obviously. And work towards those goals so you can feel proud of yourself and you don't need someone else's attaboys to spur you on. Grieve. If you feel chronically empty, especially after the relationship ends, let yourself go through the grieving process. I had to do that. You're going to go through the denial. You're going to go through the doubt of, oh my gosh, did that really just happen? I can't believe I just came through that. I can't believe they did this to me. You're going to feel all that stuff. You're going to be angry. You're going to want revenge. That's all normal. Now, don't take revenge. Obviously, I'm not advocating that. Distance yourself from the situation as much as possible. Stop taking their phone calls. Stop answering their emails. Stop answering their private messages. I know it's hard. I know it feels impossible. I get it. I was there. I totally get it. But you've got to do it. You've got to let go. You've got to let God help you heal from that stuff, or however you're getting your healing. You need to step away and you need to let go of all that stuff you were used to. It's not simple. It's as basic as reprogramming your neurotransmitters if you've gotten out of it. You need to, again, objectively step out of the situation. You need to find yourself. Get yourself some hobbies. That's another thing. Find new interests. Try different things. Even if you don't have a hobby right now, try different things that you might enjoy. Take a dance class. Or, nowadays we're kind of without excuse for boredom. We have the whole internet in front of us. There are dance classes on the internet. There is belly dancing, flag dancing, line dancing, cultural dancing. There's singing lessons. There's diet. There's exercise. There's sports. There's everything at your fingertips just with the click of a button on the internet. If you're watching me, this is kind of a how-to video. So maybe that's your hobby right now. I'm going to learn me. I'm going to find out what attracts me to these crazy people, and I'm going to do something about it. Welcome. You've come to the right place. That's what I do. That's what I help people do. Hopefully, that's what I try to help people do. Exercise. Take a walk. Take up a new Zumba class. Get your dumbbells out. Blow the dust off of them. Start lifting them. You will feel so much better, and you deserve that. You deserve to find you again. Aw. That's hard, Nick and Nanu. I'm so sorry to hear about your friend going through all that. Maybe point her to my channel. Maybe she'll find some usefulness on my channel. I don't know. There's lots of wonderful channels out there about healing after narcissistic abuse. They're very, very helpful and beneficial. Seek connection. That's another one. That's going to be a hard one if you've been abused. It's going to be hard. You're not going to know who you can trust. You're going to worry that you're going to meet another one like the one you just left. But you got to connect with people. There are healthy people out there and people that are worth being friends with. It might take some time. But we were not meant to be alone and isolate ourselves. It's not healthy. It's not mentally healthy, psychologically healthy, emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy. It's just not. You need to find your people. Find your people group. Find your tribe, as they say, and connect in a healthy way. Now, mind you, even in those people groups, whether it's a church, a support group, a club, it doesn't matter. There will be narcissists in there. That's another thing I need to raise the point of. Make sure you do your research and your homework and find out about narcissistic personality disorder, what the signs are, borderline personality disorder, other personality disorders. Learn the signs and then protect yourself. If you find people talking only about themselves or how other people have hurt them and they're such a good person, they never do anything wrong, they just don't understand why they lose all their friends and people leave them, run. Run the other way if you can. If not, and you accidentally got yourselves into this, I did recently, not all that long ago, start putting them at arm's length and pay very close attention to their words. Narcissists will tell on themselves. If you encounter one, you'll know what I mean. They will actually tell you that they're not good people. They'll say that in some way, shape, or form. So pay attention and listen carefully, because they will tell on themselves. And when they do, when people show you who they are, believe them. That's a true saying, and it's very, very accurate. Also, what's your nutrition right now? You've been depressed. You've been with this miserable abuser. Are you eating healthy? Right now, I'm doing kind of a keto-ish plan. Feeling really good. I think you can tell by the way I sound upbeat and everything. I'm eating mostly fats, proteins, MCT oil, vegetables, very little fruit, very little treats. I do have a mini ice cream sandwich that's dairy free every day until I'm running out of them. Right now I'm eating them because I have them. I don't know if I'll buy them again. I'll decide that when the time comes based on my weight loss and my health. But get on some kind of a healthy plan. Eat your veggies. Get healthy stuff into your body. One of the biggest things with narcissists and being in relationships with toxic people is we start neglecting ourselves, our eating habits, our nutrition, and we're miserable because our brain is starved as well as our body being starved. When you are brain starved and you're not getting sleep and you're not eating right, you can't make objective decisions, and you end up with more of these kind of people because your brain is not warning you, not giving you the red flags, or you're not able to hear them or see them. Sleep is another one. Please, people, do not tell me sleep does not matter. Oh, I could get by on 4 hours of sleep. You can get by on 4 hours of sleep. Is it the most healthy for you? Absolutely not. You weren't designed to subsist on very little sleep and be in a chronically sleep deprived, oxygen starved situation. When you sleep, everything slows down, everything relaxes, and your growth hormone kicks in. And I don't just mean, oh, you're going to grow 5 inches overnight. Growth hormone is beneficial for more than just growing. It fuels other parts of your body and stuff. So if you're not sleeping, you're not getting that growth hormone. You're not processing food right. You're not processing thoughts right. Sleep is important, especially the REM type of sleep. That's why EMDR and ART are so helpful. It's where you're watching somebody's finger go back and forth like this, and your eyes are following the finger. Simulating what? Rapid eye movement. Because rapid eye movement helps us process thought, and it helps us make better decisions. If you're starving your brain, and you're not having that rapid eye movement because you're not sleeping, guess what? Plan on ending up in the same situation shortly down the line because you're not thinking straight. You need sleep. Make sure you get sleep however you need to. Get one of those sleep apps on your phone and figure out how much sleep you're getting and find out what's waking you up. Are you having nightmares? Are you drinking too much before bed? Are you eating wrong before bed? There's a myriad of different angles you can cover, but you need to do it. You need to take care of you. You deserve that. You deserve that. Okay. Let's see. Narcissists have unstable emotions, but you will often leave with unstable emotions after being mistreated by one. When it comes to dealing with people that are disturbed, for lack of better terms, operate with curiosity, not judgment. The absolute worst thing you can do, and I know because I've done it so many times, in fact, I did it with this last situation, is tell the narcissist that you know they're a narcissist. Don't do it. They that does not work. It does not work. They can't see themselves. So they think you're just judging them and being a hypocrite, because what about when you did this or said that, or that's what you'll get retorted with. Don't try to pass judgment on them. Don't try to tell them they have a flaw and you're going to help them correct it, or you're going to direct them to correct it, because a narcissist does not see that they have a flaw. They see everybody else's so-called flaws, but they don't see their own. So operate in curiosity, not judgment. Be objective. Observe, don't absorb. People love it when I say that. And it's actually not me that said that originally. It's another guy that deals with narcissistic situations with people and helping them through it. Oh, thank you, Nick and Nanu. Thank you. I appreciate your subbing to me. That's so nice of you. I hope you find what you're looking for. And please, if you need to ask me anything, my email is delusiondispeller@gmail.com. I'd love to have private conversations. I also have Marco Polo if you like camera chats, and I don't charge for them, by the way. That's one thing I do not like, is people constantly, oh, it's only $400 a year, but we're going to break it up into easy payments of blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not doing any of that stuff. I get ticked off every time I try to do go into a webinar. The next thing I know, okay, first of all, they're going to tell you it's limited time only. Yeah, of course, of course. I'll put my email for you. Hold on just a second. I think I need to write it backwards for you, because I don't think it's going to work if I write it forwards. Hold on just a sec. Uh-oh, my cat sat on my paper. Well, see, Nick and Nanu, I was here just for you today. I never know why I'm prompted to come on here, but I usually find out pretty quickly. Okay, I'm going to write my email for you. If I can do this, I'm writing it backwards, so bear with me a minute. Oh my gosh, this is like not easy to do, but I can do it. All right, let's see. Oops, I did it backwards already. I did it the wrong way. Okay. One moment while I write this down for Nick. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a little squiggly for at. You'll know what I mean. I hope you can read this. I've never done this before, I don't think. Or maybe I did a long time ago. Okay, let's see if that worked. Can you read that? It's delusiondispeller@gmail.com. Just like that. Let me know when you got it, and I'll take that off. I don't know what that other thing is. Oh, ignore this part. That was me taking a bus. I just grabbed the notebook because it was handy to write on. You got that? If anybody writes me at this email, and I trust you, and I sense that you're a good person, I will do Marco Polo with you. It's a camera chat. I don't have a problem doing that. That'd be fun. But I've got to have a feeling of trust with you. If I feel the heebie-jeebies, I'm not going to Marco Polo you. Alright, anyway. What is next? Let me make sure nobody's messaging me, because I sometimes miss my messages. As I'm expecting somebody to pick me up and take me over to their house, because we do an outreach, feeding the homeless. So we're going to make some packets up to give them and hand out. And I haven't heard from her. So anyway. And if I get cut off by the phone call, I'll have to go and continue this in a part 2. Instagram, I do have an Instagram, yes. I don't have much on it, though. Okay, next. Narcissists project. What does this mean? This means the very things that they do that are wrong, they will try to say that you're doing them. And you'll sit there and say, that's you, not me. I've never done that in my life. I don't treat people that way, because they project on you. So, yeah, I will definitely get on Instagram, but first message me an email and I'll give you my Instagram information, because I don't have it handy right now. I don't remember it, but I'll find it out. Just email me at that email address and I'm happy to talk to you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So projecting, if a narcissist is projecting on you, you need to tell yourself it's about them and not you. And you need to realize that what they're saying may not be true, and usually isn't if it's a projection. It's just them not wanting to feel guilt, because narcissists, as I always say, are allergic to guilt. So instead of saying, oh, you're right, I did that. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, Nick. Thanks. Instead of them saying, yeah, you're right, I do that, or I did that, or I'm sorry I did that, they will put it on you as if you did it. For instance, I'll give you an example, okay? Here's an example. One of the narcissists in my life used to let people know they could contact her for counseling. And then at one point she decided she just was too overwhelmed with this idea and wanted me to head them off at the pass and let them know that she doesn't want to form any, close relationships with anybody. A few months down the line, because I stepped back from the ministering and stuff, she accused me of not liking people, of not wanting them in my life, and of attracting them only to throw them away. That was not me. That was her. And I had to tell myself, no, I don't treat people like that. First of all, I don't try to encourage them at that time to contact me and then get sick of them and resent them and then tell somebody to go tell them to leave me alone. That was her. That was not me. And I had to know that was not me. Because she was projecting onto me. Could I tell her, oh no, that's you, not me? I could. Do you think she'd receive that very well? No. She would start bringing up all my other faults and tell me, yeah, but what about when you said this? And what about when you said that? And yeah, and it would have nothing to do with anything we were talking about. It would just make her pull the guilt away from herself and put it onto me. Because that's what they do. They don't like feeling guilty. They don't like taking responsibility. Okay. Okay. If you feel unsafe, because you will around them at some point, work on your breath. Control your breathing. Take deep breaths, slow breaths. Process. Take the time to see what's really going on. Establish a routine that you can count on that is you, not them. It's you. It's strictly you. It's important to have that routine, especially if you're stuck living with one of these people. You need to have something that makes you uniquely you. Because the worst thing they can do is engulf you and make you feel like they are your everything. They tell you what to think, they tell you where to go, they tell you what church to attend, what people to hang with, what hobbies to have. You need to have you. And you need to keep you. Even if you are within the relationship with one. That's very, very important. I need this, buddy. Mommy needs her thing, hon. There you go. Okay. Alright. You might feel some stress-related paranoia. You're scared of everybody. Understandably so. You've just been chewed up and spit out and skewered and fried and everything else by the narcissist. So what do? Journal. Journal, journal, journal. My husband and I started doing this kind of journal recently. It's probably backwards on the camera. I apologize. It's a shadow growth journal. It's kind of deep. This is kind of Jungian. Carl Jung was I believe he was a psychotherapist or some kind of psychology person. And he digs deep into what makes you you and what your thoughts are and what makes you tick and stuff. It's pretty handy. Kind of weird, kind of new agey, but I'm kind of getting into it. It's making me think about things deeper It's kind of poetic in a way. That's not what I'm talking about by journaling necessarily. I'm just showing you that as a journal. There's lots of options for journals out there, my friends. Lots. Go to Walmart. Oh my gosh, the selection of journals that they get in. And they're always changing and they're so fun and colorful. They have some with color coded pages. They have some with exercises in them, like literally physical exercise. Today I did this many push-ups or sit-ups or whatever. Keep track of your fitness. That's fun. Or there's some that are like exploring yourself, asking yourself the tough questions. So many different ways. You don't even have to make your own writing anymore. They just write it out and you fill it in. Journal. If I could do anything to improve this world besides any of my spiritual beliefs, it would be every single person on this planet would journal. It has been the biggest, most helpful aspect of my life ever. I journal every day. Every day. I love buying new journals for myself. It feels very rewarding and enhancing. Are you trying to sleep on my paper again, guy? He really wants to sleep on my paper. Here, lay on your bed, guy. You like this one. Lay on there. It's nice. He loves my canvas bag. This is Bobo, by the way. What's he doing, Bo? Yeah, you're on camera. I know you hate the camera. I'll take it off for you. He hates being on camera. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming in, Nick. Thank you. So yeah, if you're going through that stress-related paranoia thing, journal, challenge yourself, set up little challenges for yourself. One thing I loved doing, it was hard at first. After the narcissist got done chewing me up and spitting me out, I journaled and I had a paper where I would write, what do I feel like doing or what am I doing right now? What do I feel like doing? What do I want to do? What did I choose to do? How did I feel afterwards? It was my way of breaking this connection I had of running to the narcissist with everything. Because when you have these relationships, these friendships, you get used to running to them for everything. You tell them your deepest, darkest thoughts. You tell them what's going on in your life. You tell them exciting things that are happening. And when that relationship ends, it's like a death. It's like a death. So you have to challenge yourself to get out of your head, or into your head, depending on how you look at it. Objectively look at the situation and figure this out. So, say I was watching a funny show that the narcissist and I used to like to watch together. I might think, oh man, I'm so sad. I miss her so much. Or him. And that was so funny. I gotta tell them, wait a minute, I can't tell them. We're not together anymore. What do I do? Pull your journal out. Where are you at right now? What are you doing? I'm watching TV. I'm in my living room. Okay, what do you feel like doing? I feel like calling them up and telling them this really funny thing that just happened on the show. Okay, what did you do? Maybe you called them up and they ignored your call. Maybe you called them up and they cussed you out. Maybe you called them up and they tried to wine and dine and woo you back in. You get to figure out what that is that you did. And then you ask yourself, okay, I did this thing. What was the result of it? What happened? What did they do next? Well, they made fun of me. They said, oh, you're weak. You couldn't even live without me for a few minutes. Seriously? You're the one that broke us up. You're the one that... Sorry about that. I reconnected for some reason. Hopefully that didn't make me lose my whole live stream. I don't know how that works. Anyway, so yeah, you are figuring out what it is that makes you tick, makes them tick, makes you tick. And you are going back into your journal and you're saying, so what did I do about that thing I wanted to do? And now how do I feel about it? Am I proud of myself? Am I upset that I didn't call them? Am I upset that I did call them? Do I feel like a loser? Do I feel like a failure? And you write that down in your journal. And that's important. And I'll tell you why. Because over time, you will come to realize that you healed. You didn't run to them anymore after a while. You didn't need to. Because you wrote it down. You got it out of your system. You learned your own pattern. And it's kind of weird because you don't realize it till after it happens. But one day you just look back and you're like, man, when did that actually heal? Like, I don't remember me ever not pining away after this person. I always, wanted that person in my life. And, how did I do that? How did I just suddenly one day get to the end of that and not want it anymore and, move on with life? Hold on a second. I'm looking for something. I'm trying to see if I can find my live stream because I don't see any comments here. And I'm wondering if it's still going on. So just a sec. I need to click on live. Oh, okay, it's showing that I'm live. Is it showing how long I've been live? No, it doesn't. That's okay. I don't really care. Oh, I'm going to monetize it because I can. All right, anyway. Okay, so journaling, very important. The next thing you need to do, lost my place. Accept other people's opinions of you, not the narcissists, but people that you trust. Let them tell you who you are. Definitely not the narcissist. Go to your friends, the people that you respect and you trust, and ask them, is this true about me? This is what the guy always told me. This is what the girl always told me when I was with them. Am I self-centered? Do I cheat people? Do I lie to people? Do I deceive people? Do I call them in and then reject them? That's what they said I do. Is that true? And then believe what they say, because your people that you trust are going to tell you the truth. If there's things you need to work on, then work on them. Don't get hung up on it. We all have stuff we're working on, myself included. But it's better to get opinions of other people that you trust than to trust the narcissist's formation of who they wanted you to be or who they thought you were. Because that's not who you are. All right. Clicker training works really well. I know that sounds crazy. You're not a dog or a trained seal. I get it. But if every time you have a thought of the narcissist and running back to them, you go click. Nope, we're not going to think about that. Okay, well, I want to tell them click. It literally will do something in the neurons in your brain that will short circuit those thoughts. It sounds insane, but it works. Just like journaling works. Just like being objective works. It's kind of a form of a stop technique. Sometimes if you're not like in public company, you can literally say stop, and you can stop a thought process right midstream, and then you can rechannel into a different direction, distract yourself, go do something else. It works. It's an addiction, y'all. It's an addiction. It's a people addiction when we're stuck with narcissists. They draw us in, they create a dependency on them, and we find ourselves not knowing who we are. And then we question everything we think, everything we do, the foods we like, the hobbies we have. Pretty soon we are their clone, and we don't know who we are, and we don't like who we are, because it's not genuinely us. It's who they wanted us to be. So yeah, clicker training is a good one too. You may feel some defensiveness, and that's natural. You're going to start feeling like you have to defend yourself. I went through that for a long time, and I get in lots of verbal battles with people. Be patient with yourself. You're going to feel like that. It's okay. You're going to be okay. I promise. Let's see. I think I might stop there, and I might pick up with the ashamed feeling next, because this live stream has already gone on for a whole hour. We didn't have a whole lot of visitors here, but I got Nick in here, and Nick is hopefully going to reach out to me, and I'll be able to maybe give her some kind of advice or direction that will help with her friend, or even processing her own feelings about what happened with her friend. So that'll be good. Yeah. Anybody have any questions at all for me? Because I am definitely here for it, here to help you, if I can at all. I'm looking at my own live stream on my computer. Just a second. Of course, they got to have an ad first. And there I am. All right, let's see. Yeah, Nick was the last person. I'm going to put my email in here in case anybody wants it. There we go. DelusionDispeller@gmail.com. Because for whatever reason, I cannot see the chat on my phone now. I have to look on my computer, which is fine. You can do that. Anyway, there's a lot of information, y'all. A lot. I hope it helped. I hope it opened up a door to some ways of dealing with some of the hurt issues, you know, the woundedness in yourself after dealing with these kinds of people. I will bring back more soon. But I think I'm going to stop there because I don't want the video to go on and on and on. And it's probably good to have a few different videos or a couple different videos rather than cramming it all in and maybe missing something crucial. So yeah, again, my email, delusiondispeller@gmail.com, and I am happy to answer your questions. And if you would like to talk to me on Marco Polo or a Zoom chat or something, I'm also happy to do that as well. I will never charge you. What I am doing is, if my advice is worthwhile to you and you want to send a gift to me, that's fine. If you can't or you don't want to, I am fine with that. And I mean that hand to Yahweh above, my God, my deity, my Father. I mean that with everything in me. If you feel my advice is worth paying for and you want to do that and help me out with my outreach or whatever, that's cool. If you don't, I'm fine with that as well. I will never be one of these people, oh, I'm going to have a webinar, I'm going to charge you $400, $500 because I researched all this stuff and it's worth my time that you should have to pay me. No, I won't do that to you. I won't. As long as I live, I want my advice to be free and donation based only. If somebody wants to or can give, that's cool. If they can't, that is perfectly fine, because I can't give to anybody either. So I understand. I'm currently without a job, seeking a job, and or just seeking contentment at home if that's what the Lord leads. I don't care either way. Um, but yeah, I hope this was helpful to anybody, and apparently it was to Nick. She said it was helpful information, and yeah, that's good. So, so my name on here is Delusion Dispeller. My actual name is Laura, and I am married for the third time. I was married to a narcissist for 23 and a half years. And then I was married to a man that had learning disabilities and early onset dementia, which was an interesting trip. And he could be pretty mean as well. And now I am married to a man that had a very rough past. And we are learning and growing together and healing together. And as individuals, we both are in therapy with several therapists. We do a lot of self-work when we're at home. We do a lot of couples work at home. We actually will not argue in our house. We take our disputes and our discussions out to our shed, where we have two chairs facing each other. And that's where we will have our discussions, and it keeps the peace in the household. Only positivity in my house. So it's been very helpful to learn that kind of technique. And currently I am on a fat release journey, I guess you could call, weight release journey, using a keto-ish type of lifestyle at this point, and also doing some Chloe Ting workouts and other workouts, and I plan on starting to do some more dances with my flags to godly music and stuff, and post those on my channel as well, because I've been really wanting to do that. So that's my upcoming venture, I guess. I always have goals and things I'm trying to achieve. I think it's important to have goals in life and things you're working towards. And I hope you do. I hope you have goals and things that you're working on. It's so important. Always recognize the red flags. Always do your research. Keep your mind fresh on what narcissism is and borderline personality and other personality disorders. It doesn't hurt to learn new things. There's a lot of really good gurus out there that teach about this stuff. Some of them I have added to my subscriptions on my channel. Some of them you just have to research and look up for yourself. In the wonderful world of Chat GPT AI, you can find all of that out if you really want to. So, alright, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all of the other people that come later to watch. I appreciate you. As you know, my channel started with information on narcissism, and I'm kind of veering back towards that, at least for this time being. I will bring more next time. We'll talk about shame and how to handle that. So, alright, be blessed, everybody, and I pray for a very goal-centered, self-governing, objective day for you, where you will learn who you are, what makes you tick, and never, ever, ever let somebody else define you. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed, everyone. Shalom for now, and I'll talk to you soon. Now, if I can figure out how to get out of a live stream. Maybe that would be great. And I don't know how. Because I lost my whole screen. Okay, well. I guess after a certain point, they cut off the button on you. Yes, there we go.